How should you prioritize what you need to learn to get started in a business online? Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Pankaj and welcome to another episode of One More Time podcast. In today's episode, we will learn how you can prioritize what you need to learn. And you will learn about one of the biggest mistake 98% of the people who jump into this online industry, they do that. And we're going to meet one of my fellow business owners who's an absolute beautiful soul. And he's from US. We're going to learn about his journey and we're going to draw inspiration from that. Friends, all of us are so busy in our everyday life, even if it's work related or it's your family related, we never get time to think of anything else than usual daily chores that we used to do, and we are still doing it. But when we have an intention to start any online business or any kind of business, it is very important to think strategic and it's very important to do everything step by step. But let me take you back to the schooling days when we used to study. I don't know about you, but back home in India, it used to be like that we used to study for 6 to 8 months in a consecutive way, and there used to be no tests. But at the end of the period, at the end of the session, there used to be some tests. And if we haven't scored positively, there was some time that was given to us to prepare for those topics. And after the final exam, even if we score good, and there are a couple of things which are still left, we were given no time to go back and read about it and give the test again because we have not improved those topics. And it used to be like that for the next 10 or 12 years, but this is business education. We are not in school anymore. So the priority for every new business owner which jumps into the online business industry should be to read the steps one by one and actually do the practical work. It's very important, guys. We are not in school. There is no one who is going to perform and give us any kind of prize or award to be a perfectionist. We don't have to be a perfectionist because that is something which is not there in the business. There's no one to feel happy about it except you. So if you will be happy while doing the work, I can tell you it is the utmost satisfaction that you will feel. So as a business owner, I always advise a new person who wants to jump into this online business space or they're already doing it to follow the steps one by one. Now, another big mistake that we all do is start reading and we keep on reading. Whether it's 2 days or 3 days or 4 days, after a couple of days or maybe a few weeks, we get so overwhelmed with all that knowledge that we shiver from actually doing the work. So that is one of the biggest reasons. Your number one priority in as a business owner is to get the cash back into the business by selling a product to a customer. So your number one priority should be to find that customer who wants to have your service if it's a service-based business like I do, or if it's a product-based business that you may have. But if it's a service-based business, it's very easy because you're not selling any product. So by that, what I mean is whenever you have something or some offer in front of the people, they read and they relate your story with them, and that's how they make decision to buy from you. This is one of the most important things that I have learned over the years, that every person who make any purchase, think about yourself. When we make a purchase, we always take an emotional decision. It's not a need based, it's a want based decision that we always take, especially when we're purchasing online. And like I do, I always do more than what I need. So this is something which I have to stop. But again, talking about the decision when someone wants to purchase from you, it's more of an emotional based decision that they're making. So it is very important for all of us as business owners to create that message, that kind of message which resonates to only one person. Like me, I'm trying to show this message to only one person, which is you, who is watching this video and can relate to my message so far that you're listening till this time and you want to listen more. So I hope this episode has been little valuable for you, for your understanding, and hope that you don't do these mistakes and you start earning right away as soon as you join a business online. So with this, let me invite one of my fellow business owners who is an amazing soul. He's from Tampa, Florida, US, and he's joined us a couple of months back and has got tremendous results. And let's listen to his story and draw some, inspiration from that. So without further ado, let me invite Amar. Hey Amar.
Hey Pankaj, good to meet. Good afternoon. I know you are in Calgary. I'm based in Tampa, like you said. So yeah, we're pretty far apart, almost a continent apart. But thank you for having me and inviting me here. I'm excited and privileged to be here, sharing our experiences together.
Thanks for taking my invitation and accepting it. It's like this is the beautiful part of being, an online business owner. You can meet, you can set up a time, and then you can meet
Mhm.
online, and you can take experiences. Isn't that great?
Very true.
So right now I'm in Calgary. I can tell you it's warm weather here, but it's -1 degree centigrades. So it's like I can tell you it's warm for us. What is about there in your city?
So, Florida, where I am based, it's 90 degrees. It's
Wow.
been really windy out there, 90 degrees Fahrenheit. So, that probably is like 24, 25 degrees Celsius for you. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty much everyone's in shorts and t shirt over here. So, you can
I can
imagine the
I,
difference in.
I can tell you we are still
Yeah.
2 or 3 months far till from that temperature minimum.
I was telling my son that I'm going to be talking to a colleague of mine and a good friend up in Canada, and it's still winter there. And he's like, "What do you mean it's winter?" It's like because over here it's like hot. It's like 90 degrees. So I was like, "Yeah, if you just fly 4 5 hours up north, you'll be like in minus sub-zero temperature." So he couldn't believe it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, there's a big difference for especially for the children then they're learning. So Amar, let's talk about business for our viewers. Who is Amar and what does Amar do in the daytime?
Sure. Thanks. So Pankaj, like you said, I mean, I started this almost a year ago. It's coming close to a year. Actually, it's not a year yet, but. Uh, My name, of course, is Amar. I am a digital entrepreneur. I live in Florida with my wife and kid. My profession and my past profession has been in hospitality and retail sales, which, of course, got impacted in 2020 with the pandemic. And so I moved into a different industry. Um, I started this business as a plan A because at that time this was my primary focus. I was looking and I was basically transitioning between careers and jobs. I do this both now, plan B and a plan A. It's been really solid for me. I'm seeing fantastic results, and thank you for acknowledging that. I'm glad, I'm happy, and I'm excited about the success, and of course, many more of it to come for both of us. But yeah, my profession, by profession, I am a operations and sales guy. Been had done that for like 20 years, so I needed a switch. And the pandemic kind of gave us an eye opener with just the uncertainties out there. And I decided I definitely need to have a solid safety net and a plan B for my family's future. And yeah, here I am and rocking this business together.
Absolutely. I can tell you, this is not for us, but for the entire world. These last 3 years has taught us all about, this is kind of an eye opener for at least all the people who are working out there for the jobs and, doing a day job. I can tell you, it's a different thing that now
Mhm.
everybody is trying to go online and nobody have that kind of knowledge and they're going on YouTube and they're trying to search everything. So let's talk about your first 30 days. When you
Sure.
started your journey online, you come from a different background,
G.
even it's sales and marketing. But how about the sales and marketing online? How is it different? Talk about your first 30 days.
So, great question. So, I really wanted to kind of move out of sales. And so, my first concern was when I was looking and researching into this business, is it going to be sales again? And the beauty about it is there's no selling involved. You're not chasing quotas and sales targets, which is, stressful and horrible. And you're not necessarily, going after clients and trying to build up, a client portfolio, any of that kind of stuff. So, that really resonated with me from a professional point of view, that I was not going to go back into sales because I was trying to get out of sales. But that said, I wanted something flexible that not necessarily needed the whole day, my time involved in the business, something that was, uh, you know, tried and tested and is running well or successful. So yes, like I said, I did my due diligence, spent enough time to understand, what the program is about, what the business is about, You take that next step when you pay that small fee, so you get that 30 days risk-free trial. And so that first 30 days for me was really, really understanding the business model, uh, meeting with business owners who've been in the business and at different stages in the business to understand their progress and their journey. But what really, really, the couple of things that, like I was mentioning, that resonated with me was it is not sales, which means I had to learn and adapt to something new, which is fantastic. When I went through, understand what the training program and what they offer in training, which is absolutely fantastic and world class. So that was a no brainer. I was like, okay, so I can definitely do this, even though I don't have a marketing background and I'm not familiar with social media. So these are some of those concerns in my first 30 days, because you want to set up yourself for success and understand that how's the community and how's the business going to support you do that. The other side, of course, was the time and revenues in terms of returns. How is that going to work out? The time was beautiful because, hey, I spent 20 years in an industry where you didn't have time for your personal life and your
Yeah,
family. And so, this being that flexible that it is, that you can do it at any time of the day. And because of its amazing automation, it's running for you once it's up and running and set up. And then, of course, the results in terms of returns. It's a business, it's not a get rich quick scheme. It's not a job that you just show up and you get paid. Consistency and discipline is key. And so, I mentally prepared myself for all those things, and I realized that, hey, uh, you know this was the 30 days of homework and this was the 30 days of preparation that I did. That you just got to mentally prepare yourself, be in that right mindset that now you are transitioning from an employee to an entrepreneur, and you've just got to be consistent and disciplined about it. So that was pretty much my 30 days journey.
absolutely. I can feel that. That's one of the, like, these are a few things that we need to understand, especially the business mindset, because we are working for a company. We have like a limited space of a fixed mindset, what we
Mhm.
need to do. But here we get a growth mindset where we learn new things, we try and test out new things, we start to eventually trust ourselves. That's a
True.
great thing. Thank you so much for
Sure.
sharing us this. So let me ask you, what was the reason when you first started? Like, of course, there was pandemic, there was the
Mhm.
jobs like up and down, they were going on. What was the main reason for you?
Um, my belief that I have a bigger purpose. My belief that I'm not going to be somebody's employee forever. My belief that I can do more and give my family the life that they deserve and have that abundance. As an employee, yes, you could be nothing against a job. There are people who do having fantastic careers in jobs, making fantastic salaries and bonuses, but it takes a very, very, very long time to climb that corporate ladder. In a business, when you look at your growth and you look at your return and you look at your success and you compare that to a job, it's like there's a difference of what you say, like earth and sky, like so I worked out a 5-year plan, and I told myself, if I had to do this as a like in a job for 5 years, where here's where I'm going to be, and this is my cutoff, and this is what my limit's going to be. Whereas if I do this and give my best to my business for the next 5 years, I know here's where I'm going to be, which would be 10 times better and bigger in terms of results compared to my job. And so that was my driving force. Not to forget my wife and kid, who are tremendously supporting me. My business mantra and my logo and my motivation is my son. He's a go-getter. He's passionate about what he does, and I'm doing this for him. My logo and my theme of my business is called Build a Legacy. A lot of it resonates around a father and son bond, and dad and son time. And I do a lot of activities with him, which was missing in my life because of my previous career, and it hurt me emotionally. It hurt him emotionally too, seeing that his growing years, his dad was missing in a lot of his life and his activities and his memories. So um, that was it. That was the turning point right there. I had to do something about it, and focus more on my family and not my life. I mean, not my career. Sorry.
I can feel that. That resonates somewhat with my story as well. When the pandemic started, it was me and my son who were used to all together because his classes went
Mhm.
online, and then we used to spend most of the time together. So I can truly understand that.
Right. And it's a funny story because the pandemic changed so many lives and taught us so much. Yes, the whole world kind of moved to digital, and we were all stuck at home and we were together and we couldn't step out, and everyone, you just kind of grew closer to family, and yet you grew distant because you were like there all the time with each other. You were confined within these four walls. Like people were just dying and to get out. So it's a catch 22. Yes, we were all together all the time, but it was also like you needed that thing, and so I'd say it's a blessing, but it also taught us that, okay, this is what family life is about. It was extremely stressful. A lot of people have been through it, myself included. You were putting in more time, you were working, there was double workload, and it was just more stressful, working online because you're learning so much, transitioning and learning so much. But hey, at the end of the day, the silver lining, your wife and kid are always with you, so it's all, the day ends well.
All right. So, what are the top five things that you have learned throughout your journey you may want to share with the viewers today?
Oh wow. I Well, when you put it like that, it's going to be tough to come up with five. There's probably a whole list, but yeah, I mean, if I had to narrow it down, I think the number one thing is self belief, because this is a business. You're not going into a job every day doing the same thing and getting a paycheck at the end of the week. You've got to show up and be motivated. So I think number one is your self belief. Motivation is number two, because like anything in life, there's going to be the ups and downs. You've just got to put on your visors and keep your head focused and be motivated every day. Consistency would be also, I would say, right there in the top. uh, this is not something where you're done with the day and you've got to push yourself to maybe do a little bit more and not just do the same thing. There's a famous saying, right? You can't expect different results if you're going to just do the same thing every day. That's the definition of insanity. So consistency is key also, but push yourself to do a little bit more, a little bit different. um, the training, absorb it, adapt it, learn it, because that's your core foundation. And like anything in life, if you don't get your foundation right, you're going to be falling apart in the long run, because there's a lot of things you're going to get hit with, which is all there for you, but you never took time or gave it attention. So definitely focus on the amazing user friendly global standard training that they offer, in the program, and it's so easy to follow, which is incredible. I think was one of the biggest things that helped me cross that mountain, because not knowing anything, coming from a very different industry, not very social media friendly, I should say, or active on social media, and now it's like a different life. And last but not least, I'd say just kind of balance your time and your professional time and your personal time out. You can. This business is so amazing and it's so intriguing, and it kind of pulls you. If you love it and you love what you're doing every day and you're passionate about it, you can get involved in it and just so engrossed in it that you forget about time. So you've got to sometimes step back and just balance your day out. Figure that out, and so that you're not, I never knew I'd be doing that, but my wife gets mad at me sometimes. She's like, can you just stop? So, but yeah, those are the top five things.
Thank you so much, Amar. This interview is going to be the best interview so far
uh,
for our viewers. And thank you so much sharing your journey and wonderful tips with us. Thank you so much.
hey, not at all, I appreciate it, and thank you for your kind words. Like I said, I'm delighted to be here.